Mm. Hi, and welcome back to the Grow Old Disgracefully blog. No, I'm not drunk. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and that won't be good. So today we are talking about women and alcohol, and more specifically, mums and alcohol. So alcohol can be fun, it can be relaxing, but it could also be a bit dangerous. Since 1970, liver disease has gone up by 400%, and that is huge, absolutely huge. And I think you agree with me, drinking has become more fashionable. It's like when you're out at lunchtime, you see business people, they've got a glass of wine with their lunch. Ladies like me, if I've got half a day and I go shopping with my friends, sometimes we sit and we have a glass of wine. In the old days, it used to be a cup of coffee and a scone or a sandwich, and we very rarely drank until the evening, if at all, and then it was at weekends. Things have really, really changed. And it's like you see on social media, you see us women and we're cheersing with our friends and we've got a lovely glass of cold wine and we're talking about cocktails and gin and tonic muffins, Bailey's chocolate cheesecake. Everything is so geared towards alcohol now. It's like an accessory. And it's okay if you drink sensibly. You know, with such a massive increase in liver disease, it can be quite worrying. So we are talking about mummy juice drinkers and empty nesters, and I'll clarify the difference. So you have the mummy juice drinkers. I wasn't quite like this, but I did have the odd drink. So you find some mums, and I'm not saying all, and I'm not saying that I know all my friends do it, this particular thing, but some mums, they'll do their normal thing in the day, get the kids ready, they get anxious, they get stressed, they've got money worries, you know, they're trying to fit everything and get a meal on the table. So they will come in from getting the kids from school, do what they need to do, maybe homework or make their kids their supper, and then pour a glass of wine and cook dinner for whoever's coming in, and it's all ready. And just as you're putting the dinner on the table, you serve up another glass of wine. You sit down, you have your meal. It's time to get the kids to bed. You go and put them to bed. Come downstairs ready for a dessert or a little piece of cheese and biscuits, and your partner's there and he's ready for his second glass of wine maybe. So you just think, I'll have another glass. And then it gets to about 10 o'clock. Why not have one more? Helps me sleep. And that's the way some mums are. The mummy juice drinkers, it sort of keeps them surviving, gets them from day to day. And then you have the empty nesters. So they're the mums whose kids have moved on. They've gone to uni or they're out all the time and they just don't need their mums anymore. And the mums might not have many hobbies and they may not work and their partners might be out all the time. So they like to just get a bottle of wine, an old movie, sit and talk to their friends on the phone and just get through one bottle. Now, I have friends that can drink one bottle without blinking an eyelid. I have other friends that can drink 2 bottles. And then I have other friends that have 1 glass and that's it, they're done for. So I'm not judging anyone because I enjoy a drink and I think it's fun as long as I'm sensible. So my recovery rate from hangovers isn't so good now. It used to be pretty good, but now I generally need about a day and a half if I consume about 4 glasses of wine. But to make that easier, I do have some tips. I try when I have a drink to have a pint of water in between, and I know this is horrendous because your stomach bloats and you're on the toilet all the time, but it tends to stop me from having such a bad hangover. It's embarrassing for the person who's buying me a drink because they'll say, what do you want? And I'll say, oh, gin and tonic or a wine, and can I have a pint of water as well. But it's my survival skill, and if I want to enjoy the relaxing pleasures of having a glass of alcohol, then I need to make sure I look after myself. It's not good for you if you drink too much, mainly because it gives you the munchies. And after about 2 glasses, you're like, there's a cake in the cupboard, there's some crisps, there's, oh my God, there's nothing in the cupboard, I'll eat porridge. You know, you get to that point where you just keep drinking and you just want to eat anything. There's just an urge to get rid of those munchies. So yeah, alcohol isn't good for you. If you take it to the extreme, it's not good for your health. You can get liver disease, you can get obesity. It can mix with medication, which isn't safe. So if you do drink, take it easy, do it sensibly. And here are some little tips for a hangover cure. So I read somewhere that the amino acids in asparagus apparently is very good for you. Obviously drink water because it helps flush out the chemicals in the kidney. Vitamin B apparently is very good for you. Sex is good for you. When you produce your endorphins, it helps with the circulation. And of course, exercise helps get rid of the alcohol through your, your blood vessels and out as you sweat. So that really helps too. What else can I tell you? Do you really want me to give you a rundown of what happens? Yes, I am. So you drink your alcohol, 20% goes to the stomach and into the blood vessels around the mouth, and then 75%-ish is absorbed to the blood, and it stays there until it breaks down. The liver processes the alcohol, and it takes an hour per unit roughly. And then 5 to 10 minutes later it goes to the brain, and that's when you get giggly and stupid and carry on drinking and then get the munchies. It's not good for pregnant women. It's really not, because apparently the alcohol can go through the placenta to the baby, and that's not good. So I have one friend, and she gave up drinking while she was pregnant, and she used to sniff sherry corks because sherry was her tipple. And she just used to sniff the cork until she had the baby, and that night she had a glass of sherry, which is really quite sweet. So my tipple is a nice Sauvignon or a gin and tonic or a mojito. So if anybody wants to send one of those in, I would be so grateful. Thank you. And the last thing, you got to keep the doctors and the dentists happy. How many of you lied to your doctor about how much you drink? And how many of you lied to your dentist about how much you drink? Just saying.